We've all fallen into unfortunate circumstances at one point or another within our lifetime. And a pattern that everybody at least once will have exhibited is being part of the pity party, participating in a plethora of negative emotions where the only thing going through our mind is, oh, poor me, why me? These are such unfortunate circumstances. But we are here to talk to you today about getting out of this pity party. Austin, you may have the floor.
Should I be nice or should I? Fuck that. So, all of you,
I was gonna make
you are expecting a pity party. I know.
A rice.
I apologize.
I was going to say, don't be nice. Just give him a bowl of rice.
Okay, I got you. I will throw it at y'all's face. Because, being honest here, and you may be like, what the fuck do you know? Blah, blah, blah. We all have gone through tough times in our life. I'm not about to sit here and explain my life story to you because I don't think you care, and I don't think that's why you're watching the podcast. I think you're watching the podcast to even get a little sliver of fucking advice that could carry you to progressing through the next day, the next week, the next month, something that you can carry on with you that you can learn and hopefully implement in your life, right? So when it comes to pity parties, you don't get shit from it. It's like complaining. It's like worrying. In reality, what the fuck do you really get from it except negatives? Think about it, right? If you're a constant worrier, you're a constant person that has anxiety, and I know some people have, medically, it's a medical thing for you. It's not just something, right? Medical condition. It's not something that you just experience every once in a while. I understand that, but when you think about it, and you think about you just sitting there and worrying, day in and day out, what really does that do for you except make your life worse? Does worrying really help you in the long run? Because more often than not, what the fuck can you do about it? Me worrying if a fucking meteor is gonna come down and hit me right now, a big ass meteor, like a shit from fucking Naruto, right? That fucking
Pain.
It wasn't. It was
Madara.
Madara had, right? If that came down right now and you worrying about it before it even gets here, really, if it was coming down right now, you wouldn't be able to do shit about it anyway. So what is the point? What's worrying gonna do for you? Same thing with the fucking pity party, right? You want people to come to your aid and be like, oh, I feel so sorry for you, man. Life is really hitting you hard right now. Oh, man, it's tough. Jeez, just let me know whatever I can do and I'll help you. But you also have to think, right? Even if someone was really on your side like that and they were willing to do a lot for you, when rubber has to meet the road, I'm going to be honest with you, most people are not going to solve your problems for you. They're not. The only person that can really solve your problems for the long haul on a consistent basis is you. And you're sitting there wallowing and wanting someone to come save you, wanting someone to give you pity and rub your back and all that type of shit, right? Well, if you're waiting for someone to come do that, you're probably going to be waiting a very long time. And then even if you do wait and somebody does come along and does that, it's wonderful, right? You're going to become reliant on it. Why? Because you haven't become reliant on yourself first. If you're reliant on yourself to solve your problems, then you don't have to rely on someone else to come and make you feel better about when life is beating you up. You know how to self-soothe. It's like a child, right? Parents, I don't know if they're doing it so much nowadays, but there was a way of getting a child to understand that, okay, cry it out. If you have a problem right now, just cry it out and figure it out yourself, as opposed to a parent who's always come up and saying, oh, are you okay? Rubbing their back and all that type of shit. Because if you continue to do that, that breeds a fucking needy ass child, which a lot of you have grown up to be, needy ass children, needy ass grown men, needy ass people. And you're looking for someone else to come solve your problems. However, if you let someone self-soothe, you let a child self-soothe, then it allows them to figure out how to manage and deal with the stresses of life themselves. And if you can do that, you don't have to rely on someone else to come and save you. You can save your fucking self. And when you do that, you make yourself a much more dangerous and self-efficient person in life.
I have a couple points here.
Gotcha.
However, your train of logic at the beginning made me think of something that I think our audience will benefit from a little more. And I'm speaking to the people who think they're influencers.
Oh, shit.
The people who think that they're something and act like they're something that they're not. We actually had a conversation about this last night, if you recall, about a certain individual who behaves as if he is something that he's not. And when rubber meets the road, the engine doesn't even start.
Oh.
You're not even in the same race, buddy.
Shit.
However, we are currently in a society that glorifies the struggle and puts you on a pedestal for being somebody who is enduring said struggle. What does that mean? You get popular by posting quotes, by posting motivation, by behaving as if you're enduring an insufferable disease in your life that is just pain and suffering, and you're motivating people through your triumph. But here's the problem. You're not that guy, pal. You haven't had those difficulties. Your life might be hard, but it's truly, as the quote says, it's not that serious. And you're doing something good. And I support you in your motivational endeavors and your desire to achieve and your desire and willingness to help other people. But understand one thing. When life authenticates you, you're gonna have to overcome the true challenge. You're not that guy yet, pal. And just know that you will have to prepare. There will come a point in time where you will be authenticated. If you say you're David Goggins, you're going to have a David Goggins-like story at one point in time in your life. And until you get hit in the fucking face like a train, you won't be able to say that you truly are that. And there's a quote, I forget from who. It's a Roman philosopher. And it's a shame for a man who, it's a pity for a man who never gets challenged in his life, for he never gets the opportunity to prove what he's worth. You will feel lame if you never struggle. Other men will sense that. Women will sense that. Your business partners will sense that. Your parents will sense that. Even your fucking dog will realize that you're lame because you've never had a true challenge in your life. Go find one. Go find a challenge, because life, the way life is set up in certain countries and in certain scenarios, you may not have a lot of challenges. Well, go seek one. If you're somebody who's living in comfort and you enjoy it, fine. But don't come complaining and sit on the pity potty or participate in the pity party when life gets hard or when people don't acknowledge who you are because you're nobody. You can't have pity for yourself if you've done nothing. And you also can't have pity for yourself if you're not doing anything. Because that's like pissing on yourself. You're complaining that you're fat and you're obese. But the reason why you're fat and you're obese is because you have nothing that you're working towards. So you're sitting here and pitying your condition without understanding the motivation behind your condition. And then a family member passes away, and then you get fatter, you get lazier, and you're even more pitiful towards yourself. It's like, the problem is not that you're fat and depressed. You're depressed because you're fat. And you're fat because you're a lazy fuck. So get your fat, lazy fucking ass up, quit being a bitch, and go do some sit-ups, go do some push-ups, go do some pull-ups. Look in the mirror. Or if you're a guy, walk outside and go try to talk to a bitch. And I guarantee you, she's going to look at you, laugh in your face, and walk away, and that's all the motivation you need. That's it. You don't even need to dig deep. There's no pity. There's just flat out rejection. You got fucking canned. This guy. Oh shit, dog. Come on, it wasn't that much.
No, that was funny. That was funny. I'm not gonna lie. Because I wasn't expecting you to go that crazy. Okay.
I wasn't expecting it either. Frankly, it was your reaction, so I was like, well, it's time to go in.
Okay.
Time to go in.
Thank you so much for that. That was they needed that. And if they felt like they didn't need that, maybe you need this. If you're watching our content right now,
well, let's give them some solace here. We were both fat growing up.
Oh yeah.
So don't think we're like, oh, we've never been. No, we've been fat.
I used to drink like a couple years ago. Used to drink beer all the time. I had a little fucking beer belly. Now got a fucking 6-pack and all that type of shit.
8-pack.
Yeah, all that. Who's counting? And again, Jose used to be a chunkier, chubbier kid when he was growing up. I was a little chubby, but he was a little bit chunkier than me. But now 6-pack, 8-pack, whatever the fuck. So we're not telling you this from a standpoint of we've always looked like this, we've always been able to do X, Y, and Z. No, we're telling you from a standpoint of people who used to be in that situation and worked our way up, and we didn't fucking get here by saying, hey, I'm going to have a pity party. Everybody come over and feel sorry for me. Fuck no. No. And when we did have that mindset, you know who came to help us?
I don't see him. Do you see him?
No, yeah, I don't. I really don't. You know why? Because they don't fucking exist. Nobody came to fucking help us. Even our own fucking, of course, our parents love us and all that type of stuff, but there's only so much that they can do, only so much that they could say to help us, because really at the end of the day, no matter how much someone can tell you some shit, it's you who has to make a decision to get up off your ass to go do some shit, right? And for those that watch our podcast, and we do care about y'all. We appreciate you guys, and we love that you guys support us, because we are here to support you. But just realize this. If you're going to ask us to be a part of your pity party, I guarantee you that's one thing that we're not signing up for. I'm sorry. Just like they're not about to sign up for it either. They're enjoying their lives, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be enjoying our lives, and we're going to be, putting in the work that we know that we have to put in. And we're not going to be there to, pat you on your back and say everything is going to be okay and we'll help you through this process and we're going to spend all the time that we can to make sure that you're okay. I'm sorry, we have other shit to do. But what we will tell you is, from the advice of this podcast, is that if you want to change anything in your life, you have the ability to do so. You have the power to do so. No matter how small, no matter how weak you may think you are, you have the power within you to do it. You just have to make the decision to do that on a day in and day out basis, right? And I know a lot of you are going to be like, well, I tried everything. I really did. Well, think about it this way. And I always bring this up, think about it in terms of women, right? Because I don't know how you may view Jose and I. You may be like, well, Austin talks about girls a lot. How the fuck is he getting all these girls? I don't even think he's all that. Who cares? Because there's multiple ways to skin a cat, right? You could be the best looking guy on planet Earth. You could be the funny guy. You could be the guy that knows how to fucking talk. You could be the guy who's knowledgeable, the guy who's compassionate, the guy who's athletic. There's a lot of archetypes that you can fall into that could make you or let you be able to have success with women, right? You can get fucking money. Like, if you don't have anything else, you could be the ugliest fuck on the planet. If you get some money, I guarantee you'll be all right, right?
Get a 6-pack.
Get a 6-pack.
Get
in
6
shape.
figures.
6 figures.
6 cars if you can't be 6 feet.
The amount of archetypes you can fall into, there's a lot more than what you think. So if you're not seeing some success and you feel like you tried everything, again, I want you to be honest with yourself and step back and really say, have I tried everything? Because I almost guarantee you, a lot of y'all that say that you've tried everything, you might have gotten in shape, you might have taken a class on how to talk or how to be confident with women, and you might honestly be a little funny, blah, 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 and you're still not seeing some success. And you tried everything except you work at fucking Taco Bell. Well, again, if you decided to put in some work and start a business or invest into some things, invest in real estate, what have you, and gain some money, that can help as well. And when I say this, I mean, again, when it comes to your pity parties, you think that you've tried and exhausted all of your options. You haven't. You've exhausted all the options that you're comfortable with. That could be a small amount of things. But again, if you want to achieve some success, the threshold to success is stepping out of your comfort zone. You can't bypass stepping out of your comfort zone to achieve success. It's not going to fucking work unless you get fucking just magnificently lucky and hit the fucking lottery. But the odds of you doing that is like 1 in a billion or some shit. So wouldn't bank on that if I were you, right? So you might have tried everything that you're comfortable with, but until you start trying the things that make you uncomfortable, that you feel like you can't do, you're not going to see some success. And that's something that we figured out ourselves, was that we had to, again, become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And once we became comfortable with uncomfortability, that's when we started seeing more success, because we were willing to do and put in the fucking work that most of y'all aren't willing to put in.
And I want to make this clear for those of you who are going to say, well, you know, it's a natural emotion and response in life to be shut the fuck up. It's okay to take a moment and express a negative emotion. It's okay to have pity. We've talked about this before. You cannot control, to a degree, all your thoughts and all your emotions. You can control your actions and the expression of these emotions. Say a loved one passes away, as will inevitably happen in all of our lives. Well, it's very simple. Take a little bit of time. Feel that remorse. Feel that hole, that gap, and that negative emotion. All of the negative emotions that are associated with that action and that occurrence. But don't allow that to consume you over a long period of time. Take that darkness in and that chaos and the negativity, use it and convert it into something positive. If you feel like pitying yourself or your current circumstances or whatever it might be, allow yourself to feel pity for a little bit, even if it's for a second. Understand the emotion and then analyze it. Why is it there? Why do I feel pity for myself that I'm broke? Well, then the question might become, why do I think I'm broke? Well, maybe my bank account is in the negative. Okay. Why is my bank account in the negative? Well, because I spend more than I make. Okay. Now, what's the bottleneck here? Is it that I don't make enough, or is it that I spend too much? And you slowly start realizing and getting to the root cause, and you're creating an actionable plan. Maybe at the end of the day, you realize that, hey, I was not making enough money. So you begin acquiring new skills and applying for new jobs. And next thing you know, that little bit of pity is actually what helped you get to the root cause of the negative circumstances of your life at that current point in time. So now you took the actionable steps, you're on the right track, and you realize that pity is gone, but I used it to my advantage. And the key here with everything in life is, how can you flip the coin from a negative to a positive? How can you make lemonade from any fruit that you have? It might require a little bit of alchemy, but at the end of the day, she has a fat ass. Mm-hmm. A very, very fat ass.
Right.
At the end of the day, in life, you have to be an alchemist. If you haven't read the book, The Alchemist, I highly suggest you read it. It is a phenomenal book. But you have to transform situations, and you have to transform events in your life and experiences into something positive. And if you don't control your powers, just like in Full Metal Alchemist, you will begin to lose things. In FMA, Edward loses his right arm, and his brother loses his entire body.
Correct.
All because they couldn't control the power of their own alchemy.
Indeed. Now, I always want to, after we shit on y'all, I always like to offer up some hope here for you, right? And honestly, if you took what the fuck we said as like a negative or whatever the fuck, good. Maybe that can get you to get off your ass and say, you know what? Fuck Jose. fuck Austin. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. And I'm going to become successful in spite of them. Hey, by all means. And if I got brighter just now, just know, supreme production right here. Now, understand that I completely get what you're going through, because this past year and a half, shit, has been tough. It really has on both of us. And not even this past year and a half. Like, we've both lost people, whether it be relationship or family, literally. We've lost people. We lost money. We've lost time. We've lost sleep. We've been in pain. We've been in the depths, staring into the abyss. But we know that our purpose is greater than our pain. So that is the only thing that is going to keep us from going and sitting on the couch and realizing, or not realizing, but acting like our life is a big pity party. We know that this pain is temporary. It's fleeting. It might last a year and a half. It might last 5 years. But of a however long you intend on, or we will end up living, that's only a fraction, potentially, of our life. And we know that. And we know that the purpose is the most important thing. So if you're having a pity party right now and you're experiencing some type of pain, realize that if you get a passion, you get a purpose, something to get you off that couch and out of the fucking pity party, it can take you to a completely new reality which you didn't think existed. That person that was having a pity party in the fucking dumps was somebody that you'll no longer even fucking recognize, due to you accepting your purpose and realizing that you have a passion for whatever it is that you fucking do, getting up off your ass and going to work. And though times have been tough for us, because we have this passion, because we have this purpose, we're able to attack every day like it's a brand new day and it's a clean slate. And when you view things like that, it's easier to attack things one day at a time. And just know you're not alone. We've been through it and we're currently going through it. But we're not letting that stop us, just like you shouldn't let that stop you. And if you let it stop you, just know I'm not fucking Batman. I'm not Superman. I'm not fucking the Flash.
You're not All Might.
I'm not All Might. I'm not about to come save you. I'm not. All I can do is tell you this through this fucking mic, through that camera, about how we did it and how we're currently doing it and how it can be done. So do it for yourself. And I know you can, because it's in you, not on you.
The AM Club Podcast.
Signing out. Mic check.
The AM Club Podcast.